The talk show host, Matt Lauer, introduces his new guest, the arrogant Dr. Ricky Marshall, who studies quantum paleontology based on the theory of time curvature and is requesting more funding for his strange research. 3 years later, Ricky gives a lecture on tachyons, which are subatomic particles that can move quickly and go back in time. He designed a device called the tachyon amplifier for time travel. Unfortunately, the audience isn't interested. They are a group of children on a field trip and only ask silly questions. This is the only job Ricky has gotten, but one person seems interested in his research, PhD student Holly Cantrell, who visits him and tells him that he is a genius. She believes that he should build the device and brings him an ancient fossil bearing the imprint of a lighter to prove that he is right. She found it in the desert, surrounded by crystals that emit tachyon energy, like the ones she wears in her necklace. Ricky looks at the fossil, takes out his own lighter, and places it on the imprint to find that it is the same shape. He regains the hope that he had lost. The next day, Holly comes to check on him. He has worked very late and completed the tachyon device using household tools, which left behind residual data like silly songs. He hasn't dared to test it yet, so Holly takes him to the desert where she found the fossil. The problem is that the cave she explored has become a tourist attraction, so they have to pay the gift shop owner, William Stanton, to take them there. The cave is decorated to look scary, but they don't care about the legends that William tries to tell them. There is a strong tachyon reading, so Ricky turns on the amplifier, which falls into the water when an earthquake suddenly starts. The water becomes aggressive, and the raft is pushed to the back of the cave, which has become deep and magically glowing. They fall into a whirlpool that turns into a time rift, transporting them to an unknown era where the past, present, and future meet, as Ricky believes. They find themselves in a vast desert, with scattered objects that have fallen there, from random doors to a Viking ship.
The problem is that they lost the device, so they must find it if they want to return home. They hear a sudden sound and go to investigate. They find strange creatures about to kill a third creature, so they decide to intervene to save him. William tries to scare them with his lighter, but it falls from him, and they steal it. Holly approaches the third creature to show that she is his friend, and they learn that his name is Chukulka. Ricky tries to examine Chuka's injured ankle, but this makes him panic and run away, so they chase him. They fall into a hidden sand pit that leads them to an underground cave full of bones. Sentient plants sneak up on them from behind and grab them to hang them on a tree. The team begins to sway from side to try to reach the tree trunk. Suddenly, a Tyrannosaurus Rex appears and tries to devour them, but because of the swaying, it eats the rope instead. It drops them, so they immediately start to run away. They stop to take a picture of the Tyrannosaurus as evidence, before making their way to a mountain. Chaka has crossed a bridge and is trying to destroy it to prevent the Tyrannosaurus from chasing him, so they must run faster. They cross in time. The Tyrannosaurus sees how narrow the bridge is and decides not to risk it and leaves, but it changes its mind when it hears Ricky say that its brain is the size of a walnut, so it turns around and jumps to chase them again. They run to a different cave, with a very small entrance that the Tyrannosaurus cannot pass through, so it gives up this time for good. William believes that the Tyrannosaurus was chasing Ricky in particular. Inside this cave, Chaka finds skeletons of 2 people and a set of their belongings, including a DVD player, so they decide to camp there for the night. Chaka tells them through Holly, who acts as his translator, more about his life. He is a prince of his people, and was the victim of a betrayal conspiracy to steal his throne. His only crime is that he loves to pee a lot and believes that he was treated very harshly, just because he peed in the village well. Meanwhile, William wants to put some boxes in front of the cave entrance to protect them, but Ricky reminds him again that dinosaurs have a brain the size of a walnut.
Suddenly, something crashes into the cave, causing it to shake. They go outside to investigate and find a giant nut that the Tyrannosaurus Rex threw at them. In the morning, Chuka offers them some fruit for breakfast as a sign of friendship, but it contains spiders, his favorite food. The cave starts shaking again, and a bright light appears between the trees. Ricky receives strange visions of an alien asking for help. Ricky accepts the request and runs into the forest, followed by his group. They come across an abandoned temple with strange statues and a crystal obelisk. Chuka feels uneasy about the statues and tries to warn them about the creatures hiding in the dark, but they don't understand him. The creatures seize the opportunity to come out and surround them. Holly tries to take off her belt to use it as a weapon, which gives Ricky an idea. He uses the belt buckle to reflect sunlight onto the statues and then the obelisk, opening a portal that they enter, preventing the creatures from following. The portal takes them to a place where the alien who contacted Ricky is hiding. He explains that extraterrestrial beings are trying to take over the world using the power of the crystals. To defeat them, they need a tachyon amplifier to destroy the crystals, which will also allow them to return home. William doesn't trust the alien, but Ricky agrees and draws a rough map to create a plan. The first step is to use dinosaur urine, which he collected all night, to mask their human scent. However, his friends refuse to do it. Chakaka appears and asks them to follow him to some clues he found. They return to an area that Holly believes is the entry point, because it's full of random objects, including their raft. An ice cream truck from another era appears, and the dinosaur dinosaurs emerge to feed on the ice cream man. The dinosaurs smell the urine and decide to chase them. Everyone runs in different directions. A dinosaur grabs Ricky, but he frees himself by shining a laser in the dinosaur's eye. After hiding in various buildings and vehicles, the dinosaurs continue their destructive rampage. Ricky hides behind a large rock and finds a liquid nitrogen tank. He picks it up and takes it to a catapult that Holly and William are preparing for him. The tank is launched into the mouth of the female dinosaur, causing her to disintegrate into a million pieces.
And she reveals the amplifier that was in her stomach all along. But before they can reach it, a baby dinosaur tries to grab it. A pterodactyl comes and takes it to its nest after catching the smaller prey. This makes Ricky give up the search, and Holly is hurt by this decision because she gave up her scientific future to follow him and his crazy theories. She, William, and Chaka return to camp for the night, and Holly translates more of what Chaka tells them about his life. Chaka misses his nomadic tribe that lives wherever there is food. The women serve all the needs of the men, and as Chaka the prince, he has women serving him whom he considers ugly but have kind personalities. Their short conversation is interrupted by Ricky, who decides that he will not give up. He tries to apologize with a song while a giant mosquito sucks his blood, making him feel tired, and the mosquito ends up dying. In the morning, Ricky doesn't notice the giant lump on his back but leads the group to their deaths in the volcano, where the dinosaur's nest and the amplifier are located. He sneaks very carefully between the eggs without touching them, and reaches the amplifier, which has been playing music all along. When he turns it off, the eggs start to hatch because the music was what was keeping them asleep. Ricky can't find a way to turn the device back on, so he starts singing, and his friends quickly join him, even Chaka, who proves that he has a great singing voice. The baby dinosaurs go back to sleep, and the group manages to escape with the device. To celebrate their success, they return to the desert and have fun in the pool, where Chaka shares some fruit with Ricky and William, as is customary in his village. It turns out that this fruit is a drug, so while the three of them wait for the effects to wear off, Holly tries the device. This causes another crystal obelisk to appear in the middle of the desert, and she enters it to find a cave containing dinosaur eggs, so she keeps one. There is also a hologram carrying a warning from the natives that the alien is the real villain.
Absolutely. He is trying to get the power of the crystals for himself. Before Holly can return to tell her friends, she is captured by the Sleestak. Meanwhile, the trio sleeps after eating a giant crab that fell into a hot spring and was cooked. In the morning, they discover that Holly is missing, so Ricky sends Chaka on a mission, while he and William explore the obelisk cave. There are Sleestak guards resting to shed their skin, so they steal their fallen skins to wear and pretend to be Sleestak too. They follow the creatures to the temple, where Holly is being held in a cage about to be lowered into the lava because she helped the aliens, so Ricky and William know the truth now too. The Sleestak want to capture them as well, so Ricky jumps on Holly's cage and starts swinging it from side to side to hit every creature and push it into the lava. The two jump out of the cage before it falls and hug. Then Holly tells them to hurry up and leave before the alien finds them, but there is a small problem. They already sent Chaka to get him. Enoch then appears with an army of Sleestak that he is mentally controlling with a crystal of his own, and steals the amplifier before making a dinosaur appear to take care of them. Ricky decides that he will not run anymore, so after sending Holly to safety, he faces the Tyrannosaurus Rex. He tries to use some fireworks that were in William's pocket, but they don't work, so he throws them away with his lighter, creating the fossil that Holly found. He then uses a stick that the Sleestak priest was holding to try to pole vault, but the dinosaur simply swallows him. Enoch enters the obelisk and starts activating the device on the crystals, while the group tries to fight the Sleestak, but there are too many of them. Suddenly, powerful help arrives. It is Ricky riding on the back of the dinosaur, who easily defeats all the enemies surrounding them.
They ask him how he is still alive, so Ricky tells them that when he was on his way out of the dinosaur's stomach, he removed some of the intestinal blockage, so the dinosaur is grateful for that, so the two are now friends. They enter the obelisk portal and find the alien, who has already opened a time rift to Earth. Ricky jumps on him, and they wrestle on the ground, but when William tries to help, the crystal tray tilts, causing one to fall and break. This leads to the door closing, so Ricky thinks quickly and grabs Holly's crystal necklace to replace the one that was broken. The door opens again, so Ricky and Holly rush towards it to escape, but the alien grabs William and prevents him from escaping. With Chaka's help, William makes a quick move and overpowers the alien, telling his friends to leave without him as he had no life on Earth, so he will stay here with Chaka and start a new life. Holly and Ricky enter the portal and return to Earth directly at the entrance of the tourist cave in the desert. Chaka takes William with him to meet his tribe, where the women he described as ugly look a lot like humans, so William is happy to make friends with them. Later, Ricky appears on television again to celebrate his success in front of Matt Lauer. He shows everyone a dinosaur egg that Holly brought with her and promotes his new book, which Matt Lauer can't stop talking about, causing Matt Lauer to jump on him to hit him. After the show ends, the egg hatches while lying on the table, and reveals that it is not a dinosaur. There is a small Sleestak inside. The movie humorously criticizes scientists who cling to unproven or absurd theories without solid evidence. Dr. Marshall is an example, as everyone saw him as crazy, but he proves his theories in an unexpected way. The film heavily mocks movies and series that follow the plot of time travel to lost worlds, as it blends comedy and science fiction in a satirical way. Overall, the film is not very deep in its message, but it relies on absurd comedy in strange situations to provide an entertaining experience without focusing on a deep philosophical meaning.